Hey everyone, welcome to another conversation with a marketing guy.
And a sales guy.
And today we're going to talk about the three real common mistakes that people have when they get a lead from the marketing or somebody comes through their funnel and how they actually interact with them immediately. And some of these are easily stumble blocks that people overthink. They're things that they're underthinking. And so it's kind of like what we're going to discuss.
I love the way you said that because people, I'll make it clearer, I think. They overthink for sure, or they don't think at all.
Yes, that is true.
We're probably going to talk about that a little.
All right. So the first thing we want to talk about today is failure number one, no speed
No speed.
to lead.
No speed to lead.
So people sometimes drag their feet. They wait too long and they don't know when the door is open to actually have that conversation.
Let's break this down. Let's say it's a lead from the website. So, I don't know, 5 a.m. Somebody's scrolling through a website and they fill out the inquiry form. Should I call them at 5:15 a.m.?
No.
No. So we're going to rule that out. But how about that day? Do you think the person was interested enough at 5 a.m. to be interested at, I don't know, 9 a.m.?
But here's what you're going to push back. Someone's going to say, should call 5:15. If I'm up and they're looking at a house and I'm a realtor,
That's a good point.
if I respond at 5:15, the speed to the lead actually helps realtors.
Okay, so
So
we're overthinking.
we're thinking this.
When here's the agreement is the person filled out the web inquiry form
Yes.
for a reason.
Mhm.
They want to hear from you.
Yes.
So what if I wait a week?
That's way too.
That's way too long. They filled out other forms. They've talked to somebody.
Yes.
By 7 a.m., they're chatting everybody at the water cooler.
Yes. The problem has moved on. They've already found a solution and you are not the solution.
So the correct answer is somewhere between immediately, we found that to be acceptable,
Yes.
and not too long,
Correct.
which is probably the next day. Really? Can we quantify it, you think? How about the same day?
Within reason, it depends on what you're selling, what your service or product is. Let's be honest.
Okay. But if we're talking a web inquiry form,
Web inquiry.
they were interested.
You're interested and delaying hurts. Now, I think, let's say I meet somebody at a networking event
Okay. Right.
and they seem very interested. How long? So this is kind of like that old, how long do you wait for the second date and such? But how long should I wait on that? So if I see someone at a networking event at 7:30 p.m., I get in my car, come home. Do I have to send them an email that night? Or can I send it the next morning? Or can I send that in my Friday to-dos? Does that matter?
I think all these are acceptable answers, but like a lot of things, let's go upstream, as I like to say. How about when that person first contact was made? Or at the end of the event, you guys are heading in different directions, you've exchanged business cards. How much effort would it have taken to say, hey, Chris, would you like to talk more about what we were just talking about? And you, I assume, would say, that sounds lovely.
Yes.
I'd go, great. Well, how come we didn't schedule it right then and there?
Perfect. That's the answer I was hoping
There
to
you
get out
go.
of you. I think that is one of the things that I make that mistake sometimes. I think we all do. Is we're at a networking event. We know that that we want to have a deeper conversation. We never pull out our phones and say, let's book this thing.
We are creating more and unnecessary work for ourselves
Correct.
later and for them.
And the opportunity for them to change their mind.
That's right. Strike while the iron's hot.
Yes.
There's a cliche for everything, and we're going to find them all.
Yes. Now, I just had a client go over webinars.
Okay.
He had a webinar. He put up, book a meeting with me. Let's
Okay.
have a deeper conversation. No one booked.
Okay.
Well, there's a problem there.
That eliminates the follow-up problem, but it creates other problems.
Correct. So that, I feel, is everyone that showed up to that webinar opened the door for the conversation for you to have a deeper meeting one-to-one with. But they didn't take advantage of that. And that's, I think, people overthinking. I gave them the opportunity to book with me and they didn't, so they must not be interested. That might not always be true.
No, that's so we're into, one of my big bugaboos, Chris, which is that old passive versus active. Even if you had a well-crafted call to action in a webinar, we are still reliant on them to follow up with us. Is that ideal in any way? Absolutely not. But if they're interested, they'll reach out. But what did you say just a few minutes ago? The need has passed,
Yeah.
right? Could that be the case? Like the webinar did such a great job of evoking the need that now they found a solution on their own. That could happen,
Yeah.
right? Because I always say I think I've said before on here, need, want, conversion. The first need is what we see because we're trained. We see the need, but you have to get them to see the need. And webinars, I think by nature are designed to allow people to see needs. Otherwise, what are they getting out of it? But if you fail to convert it to a want of them wanting to talk to you, now they're just out there in the world and somebody's going to get them.
Someone's going to snatch them.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so when is the right time? Or, well, in this case, we're not talking about timing. How could that person have done a better job of being able to be in control of the outreach? People attended this for a reason. So is this a real example? Like,
Yeah.
did the person know who was on there?
Obviously, if you registered and gave them the link, in good marketing, you would know who's there.
That's it. So would it be appropriate for them to reach out to them and say, thank you for taking time out of your busy work week to attend my humble little webinar? I don't think that's inappropriate in any way. Do you?
No, not at all.
It's what happens next that could be appropriate or inappropriate.
Yes.
Right.
So I think wrapping up the need to lead, I think ultimately you need to book a meeting.
Yes.
And you can't wait on the other side of the table to be the one that books the second meeting or even the first meeting.
Right.
You need to be the aggressive one. If you see that person needing or would like to learn more information, you need to take the initiative at that moment.
Right.
To get them on your calendar.
That's it.
The longer you wait, the less likely it's going to happen.
I love it. Well said. There you go.
Okay.
The marketing guy
Mark it down.
knows how to sell.
That was failure 1. Now we're on the failure number 2.
Failure number 2.
Treating every lead the same.
Oh boy. That's a tough one because if it's a hot lead and they treat it like it's regular, that's bad for obvious reasons. And if it's I don't know what I was going to say, I don't know what a bad lead looks like, but we all have seen bad leads.
Yeah.
And you treat that the same. Where I'm going with this is prioritization. Isn't that really what makes up a day of being in control or being in control of your day is knowing what to prioritize? You know, another cliche, like you attack your to-do list in alphabetical order, or if everything's important, nothing's important, right? So that's really what you're saying here. So how do you prioritize a lead?
I think you need to ask more questions and learn more about them.
I think that's very true. I think there's another way too that you and I talk about so much that our astute viewers are already with us. It's called the ideal client profile. That ICP we talk about so much. Because you should be able to see from far away which of those leads are pretty hot based on who is making the inquiry.
That is.
Because some of them you just know. Now, you don't rule any of them out, but you can tell the hot ones. Am I right or am I right?
That is true.
Okay.
I love that you brought it back to that, which is always a core value there in the marketing and sales.
How much research would it take, you think, just off of a name, company email address, phone number, maybe a company name? How could we figure out if they're an ICP just from that information? Put on your marketing cap, Chris. What do you got?
Well, one thing you could do is you hit your ICP in your AI and you literally put it in there and say, is this my ICP?
It's great. Somehow you're implying that their website would give us key information about the business.
Their website, their LinkedIn profile, and all their social media should be able to really help us out with that.
Okay.
So I think also treating every lead the same starts with not going into every sales conversation the same as well.
That's true. I think there's a magic question that opens up every good consultation because in this hypothetical, we're talking about a sales meeting now, right? Marketing's fully saying, sales, go get it. We worked hard, spent a lot of money to get you this lead. And this person walks in and they probably, if they're badly trained, just start selling. Meaning me. You need. When what did I just say before? We have to get them to see the need. And here's a great opening question for any sales appointment. You ready? Hey, how you doing today? Okay. A good second question is Is there anything in particular you want to walk away from this meeting with?
I love that question. You ask them, what are they hoping to accomplish out of this meeting? And take good mental note of that to make sure that whatever they entered this meeting and they wanted to learn, make sure they learn it.
That's great, because what you didn't say is answer the question. Because what are they going to say? They're going to say some important things you need to be listening to. Well, I was really hoping to understand if the widget will fit the was it and this and that, but I also want to know the price. And we're going to disregard that for now. Well, no, we're not. We're going to say, great, I'm going to write that down here, put a little gold star next to it. I'm going to make sure we come back to that later. That's what you said, right?
Yes.
And then we're going to proceed to have a good conversation where we're going to be asking questions and learning things about pains, perhaps, what they're trying to do, goals. All right.
But this goes back to where you always talk about is like less talking, more listening.
That's it. And if you treat every lead the same, you're basically, that statement means that you are not taking the time to understand what makes them different. And the difference is, where are they at in their journey? What is their pain level? Why do they think it's all about price? And how many more questions do I have to ask until they see that it goes beyond that?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, cool. All right, failure number 3, no trust building process. So this goes into this whole concept where just because we're having this conversation, that means you think we're the greatest person to provide this service.
Yeah.
And it's not you exploring or shopping around. I have this delusional belief that I'm getting this sale. And I don't actually need to build a relationship with the person on the other side of the table. That's how I understand it.
I think you're right. I remember we learn a lot sometimes by when we've not done so well in our lives. I remember an account that I had that was a pretty good sized account, and I'd had it for years. And there was a new point of contact, and I went in to meet the point of contact, and I didn't realize it at the time, but I guess I was treating them the same and not building trust, because I proceeded to tell them how, not in these words, but essentially how wonderful we are, how long we've been working with them, me. And it wasn't until years later that that person ran into me and said, hey, you know what? I like you, Vic. I've gotten to know you pretty well, but when we first met, it didn't go so well. And she proceeded to tell me how I lost that account. And it was basically the story I've just told you, that I didn't take the time to understand her needs and act like she was the whole world, which she really was going to be. Instead, I said, we're awesome. You're working for a great company too, but boy, we really got your back. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Made it all about us. And, well, I learned that the hard way, people, so you don't have to make the same mistake.
Absolutely. Well, these are 3 little ideas that we came up with that we thought we see in the real world and we've experienced, that people make these little mistakes. And hopefully this video helps you become a better salesperson. And Vic, you got a little book if someone needs more information, right?
I do have a book. I should have a copy of it right here, but it's called Selling is Easy If You Know the Rules. Got a great cover.
Yes.
And it's available on Amazon or on my website.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks for watching.
Thank you.